right, Winston. This is
All right.
episode 0. Do you know what an episode 0 even is?
I wish I had those. I wish I had episode zeros in my life. It was just like,
Courtesy laugh.
don't know.
I kept my eyes open.
You can always try it again, upgrade later.
This is episode 0 of Southern Gentlemen.
Podcast.
Gentlemen, plural.
Yeah, I was wondering if it's a plural.
Yeah, I think so, because there are 2 of us.
Right.
And my hope is that, or maybe our hope, is that there will be other Southern gentlemen who join into listening. We might have another Southern gentleman sitting here with us one day, educating us about,
That's right.
I don't know, about a myriad of topics, of which we've made
That's my hope.
a pretty incredible list of potential things, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. Because
That's right.
I thought it would be fun, so I pitched you this idea, and you were like, okay, yeah, I think that'd be fun, to do an episode 0 where we're just kind of figuring out what we want this to be. You know, I think we have a basic idea, which is, you know, we've talked about like kind of how masculinity is viewed in the world these days.
Yeah.
How you hear toxic masculinity a lot.
Yeah.
And maybe the idea of reclaiming what would be the opposite of toxic masculinity? Healthy?
Yeah, like masculine integrity.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
a whole person.
Yep.
Like a whole man.
Mm-hmm. And so we kind of have this basic idea, but then there are a lot of potential ideas on these sheets of paper, like what we could talk about. Yeah, what we could talk about, who we could have on. What's the point of this whole thing? That I thought, okay, it might be fun just for you and I to hit record, turn the cameras on.
Right.
Am I recording? Oh yeah, okay, I am.
Whoa. Episode 0.
Dude, I've done that before.
That was a 0 move.
I have.
Yeah, no,
I have done it before where I'll have an hour-long conversation with somebody. I'll look down to turn it off. It's not running, and it's the worst feeling in the world.
my computer would freeze up freshman year of college, and
Oh yeah,
same feeling.
That's not good, and you lose all your homework.
There goes
or whatever.
the essay.
You went to college?
A long time
I
ago.
shut my eyes when I left.
You know what I realized when I was like coming up with these ideas? One, it's where we're at in life. So it's like these are things that are ongoing in where we find ourselves.
Were you
at
and
our
I personally,
at our
or
age,
just, or
at our age,
or
me personally?
Not the culture in general, or just you and
Not
I?
necessarily, but
Yeah,
I have to think that you're not the only person who's walking through this stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
And the other part was I am not an expert
Oh,
necessarily in any of it. It's all work in progress. So it's like, yeah, let's get the other gentleman in here, right? That is the expert in that topic.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, what put me in this chair is that I want to grow in it. Like I do want to be better at these things.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot. There's a lot of topics.
Let's talk about how we got here first, though, because I do think it's
Are you
an
gonna talk about that
interesting
dream?
story.
You talk about that dream?
Well, it's a real thing.
Because
dude.
that's what I'm gonna tell people. That's the truth.
It is the truth. I have. Do you dream a lot?
Not only if I had like a bad drink or went back to bed at those morning dreams.
Yeah. I dream.
The better I sleep, the less I dream. I can't remember.
See, that makes me wonder if I'm not sleeping well. Because, dude, I dream all the time. Every morning I wake up. And I will have, now this is probably an indication of my sleep pattern, because I will have 3 or 4 dreams. So maybe that's like, but I do toss, I'll roll over, reset. It doesn't take me long to go back to sleep, but maybe that's like.
I think it's a spiritual gift. I mean, let's be honest.
Is it really?
Dreams are something, man.
Dude, I dream all the time.
So.
And it is one of my number one things that I'm sure when we get to heaven, I'm probably not actually going to care enough to go find, God.
No.
And say, hey, walk me through what dreams are.
My first one's going to be dinosaurs, not dreams.
Dinosaurs? You care that much about?
That's in my top 5 to ask God.
Okay.
Sure.
I want to divert really quickly for a
Help
moment.
me.
I want to hear what would be your top 5. I'm curious about this.
Oh, God. I mean, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it, but I know dinosaurs is on the list.
So when you said it's not like you keep a top 5,
No,
but you're like, that would be up there.
absolutely.
Okay.
My 5-year-old son is all dinosaurs right now. So
Yeah.
that's why
okay,
it's
that
top
makes
of mind.
sense. Top of mind. I understand
It is-
that. Dreams for me would be, and I don't keep a top 5 either, but it would be really close to. I want to know, what are these things? Is it always like because I do believe God speaks in dreams. I believe he can give us messages, send us signals, however you want to think about that. But then are there just sometimes because dude, I've had some crazy dreams.
Oh, yeah.
I've had
To the point where you think, how did I even come up with that?
That's
amazing. Maybe
that's what
I got
I'm
more
wondering.
talent than I realized.
That's what I'm wondering. What are these things? Where do they come from? Is it just like, oh, you go to sleep and you're maybe thinking about something and something distantly connected kind of reveals itself in the dream? Or
Yeah.
I'm super curious about that. But I did have a dream. It was extremely vivid. You and I were in a beautiful studio. We were walking around in like a corporate office, corporate feeling office, but like a beautiful place. Glass walls in the ceilings, or glass walls in the ceilings. Glass windows in the offices is what I meant to say right there. I said glass walls in the ceilings.
Hey, man, it's your dream.
Yeah, and but we were like walking down this hallway to a studio, a really beautiful studio.
Kind of like this.
And we were sitting down to do a podcast. You and I were co-hosting a podcast together.
Awesome.
And I don't know what the content was. I don't know anything else about it. I didn't know what it was called, but you and I were doing that.
Yeah.
And I just woke up. I told Kimberly, man, because I always tell her about my dreams. I had a crazy dream last night. You wouldn't believe it. She hates hearing about that stuff. But I was like, I had a dream I was hosting a podcast with Winston Cruze. And she was just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I texted you that, and I can't remember what you said. You were like, maybe God speaks to us in dreams. I don't know. I don't remember what your response was.
I don't know. Well, now that I think about it, I think the world needs another podcast, like a sharp stick in the eye, right? I mean, we're content overloaded.
Everybody's doing it.
Everybody's doing it. Information is everywhere. We live in a wild time. But if you have a dream about a podcast, then you're already ahead of a lot of people. You kind of have to follow that one. It's not like,
well,
we woke up one day and we wanted to start talking about The Bachelor or something.
Do people talk about The Bachelor?
I'm sure there's a Bachelor podcast. Absolutely.
Probably a dozen of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, we kind of bounced this idea around. We came up with this, okay, if we do this, what could it be about? We talked about masculinity, manhood, being a good man. I think that's something that you and I both are interested in pursuing. I know, because I'm quite a bit older than you. As I've gotten older,
it all evens out.
But I want to be a better man. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father. I want to be a better friend. I want to gain wisdom.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hunting for, is wisdom, discernment, that kind of thing, resourcefulness. And so we'd kind of, okay, well, that might feel right. Like we're both kind of interested in that kind of thing. I think we both have a similar worldview, that kind of, a lot of that stuff lined up. And so then we started pitching okay, well, what could potential topics be?
Yeah.
And I even think we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. Because here are the 3 things we kind of wrote down for this one. Who we are, why we're doing this, and what we want this to be.
It's good.
Right? Those are kind of the main 3, for at least this episode. Episode 0.
Love it.
So, who does it... I mean, it sounds so silly, who are we? Because right now it's just you and me in this room together, and we know who we are. But for anybody out there who's silly enough to push play...
Who are you?
Who are we? So who is Winston Cruze? Who are you?
38, from East Tennessee, and lived in Nashville for the past 15 years, married 15 years to my wife, Rachel. Mm-hmm. We have a 9-year-old girl, 7-year-old girl, and a 5-year-old boy. My passion, which fortunately intersects with my vocation is real estate. So I do that day to day in all different forms. I am more of a 4 quarters guy with my community than I am 100 pennies. So I've got good,
I don't know what that means.
I've got a good few friends.
Okay.
And that's all I really need.
I love the 4 quarters.
I'm a 4 quarters guy.
Rather than 100 pennies. I'm stealing that.
Okay, good. Yeah, so my community is small but rich. And my outlets are anything outside. I grew up doing yard work and hated it. Now I do it to just kind of like have a little therapy time.
Yeah.
Love to hunt. Anything birds, anything with a wing is great. So I kind of like survive the summer months because I'm not a big fisher. But love to hunt in the hunting season. Yeah, so that's about me.
Okay. I think that was a good intro. Here's what I learned about you. 38, native Tennessean, 3 kids, married for 15 years, real estate guy, 4 quarters, not 100 pennies. I love that. I absolutely love it. I am ripping that off because I'm the same way. I'll get to mine here in a minute.
Okay.
And you're an avid outdoorsman. You love wing shooting.
Gosh, it's the
Anything
best.
with a bird. Anything dealing with
My
a bird.
first gun was a shotgun.
Yeah.
And my second gun.
Was a shotgun.
And it took years to get anything else because I just didn't understand. Like, why do you need anything other than a shotgun?
Yeah. What kind of gun you shoot? Like, if you had to go pick one.
I would, if I went to go pick one, I don't own one, but I would go with the Benelli Super Black Eagle.
Okay.
It eats 3.5 size shells. It's semi-auto. But at this point, I just have the Nova, which is the pump action, because I am still a little old school in that it's mechanical and you don't ever have a problem with the pump action. So that's what I shoot.
This is a little off topic, but do you think people, if you're in that world, are you either a Benelli person or a Beretta person?
I think so. Yeah.
Are there any other brands you consider?
Browning.
Yeah.
If you're going to go with the shotgun. Over and under, Browning makes the best ones.
Yeah.
Benelli is the tactical company. Beretta's a little more like upland, a little more showy. But
that's what we have.
Benelli looks the coolest.
You think?
Absolutely. They're Italians.
Well, so is Beretta, aren't they? Isn't Beretta Italian?
Probably. Most stuff.
Who knows where they're made, though? Are they actually made in Italy, you think? Anymore?
That's probably like a car.
Yeah.
Drive domestic.
And they're all made in Mexico.
And you're like, well, I mean, my Toyota was made in Kentucky. So I've been told drive domestic before because I bought a Toyota.
Yeah. I used to drive a Tundra. I got rid of my Tundra a few months ago. And when I bought it, the Toyota Tundra was the most American-made truck on the road. 85% of the components are made in the U.S., and it's assembled in just outside of San Antonio, Texas.
Golly.
But Toyota's a Japanese company, so everybody's like, oh, don't buy it. You got to buy a Ford. You got to buy a Chevy. The Toyota Tundra, at the time, this may have changed, but in 2020 when I bought it, the most American-made truck on the road.
I don't know why that's still around, that belief. Like, it's pretty understood that we're in a globalized world now.
Yeah, there's something about it.
We kind of need to move past like the car manufacturing headquarters versus the jobs that are provided down the road.
Yeah, I agree.
Volkswagening Chattanooga was like a massive deal for Tennessee.
Do they have a plant
German.
in Chattanooga? I didn't even know that.
It's German, yeah.
Okay.
But let's do it.
All right, I'm going to tell you who I am. I don't know why I picked up this piece of paper to say that.
It feels right.
I just turned 47.
We're the same age.
No.
Well, if you're within a decade and you're past 35,
I'm almost a decade older than you.
I know technically you are. But eventually we're all kind of the same age, right?
I don't know what that means.
Just with life, like things that we are up against.
Well,
there's not a difference between 50 and 60 when we get to that point. Oh man, we're getting there.
I think I see what you're saying.
We're getting there.
I think I see what you're saying.
The older we get, the more same it is. Okay, keep going.
47. I've been married to my wife Kimberly for 23 years.
All right, that's different.
Yeah. Oh, it's different. We've been dating for 30.
Okay. You're twice as long as me.
I met her
with your relationship with your wife. That's a long time.
Oh, yeah. She's my best friend. She is my favorite human. There's not another person on this planet I'd rather spend time with than her. Period.
I like that.
We've been dating for 30 years. I met her when I was 16 years old. We were high school sweethearts. I took her to our senior prom together.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an American story. What an American story. This is beautiful. Keep going.
I wore a white jacket.
Oh, goodness. Like Justin Timberlake at the Grammys?
Oh, man. Don't get me on JT.
Okay.
Shout out JT.
He definitely hit play just then.
See, that was a fake laugh. I didn't close my eyes.
I don't know. You're still giggling.
Yeah, we have 4 kids. We have 1 girl and 3 boys. Our oldest is the girl. She's 19, and she's just graduated high school and is thinking about what she wants to do. And then we have 3 boys. I call them the knuckleheads. 16, 14, and 8. And parenting is so hard.
Yeah.
Have you experienced this? Parenting is really difficult.
I just experienced the contrast between you describing you and your wife's relationship and then parenting. Marriage was a merge for me. Just put your blinker on and get on the interstate. This is amazing.
Easy. Yeah.
5 years later, everything changes.
Yeah. Because that's when the first kid showed up.
For us, yeah.
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 Yeah,
it's one of the hardest things that I've ever done.
Yeah, extremely difficult. And I think, it's something that it is the single hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. And it's also the single most fulfilling thing that I've done in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Like those 4 kids, I tell them all the time, which I don't know if this is a healthy, good thing, but I tell them all the time, like, you 4, you're all tied for my second favorite. Like the only other human I love more than you guys is Mom.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a good. I don't know.
I think they like it. I think they like that.
I do think they like it.
Yeah.
Especially we're seeing out of our daughter, who's 19. She'll be 20 next year. She is mature, responsible, and she's been able to articulate now. Like I love that you love Mom well, and that is valuable to me as a young woman to see.
It's so safe for them.
Not that I'm perfect. Like I'm a flawed dude, but I love my wife. She is just she's my person. For work, like I do a lot of things. I think I do too many things right now. I'm trying to do fewer things for work. I have an event business. I have a sticker business. I've got a cocktail mixer business.
Those stickers, do they come in patches too?
They don't do. No, we get that. We get asked that a lot.
Oh, okay.
We get asked that a lot, but
no iron-ons.
No, we don't do iron-ons. We've tried that sticker business. We've tried other things in the past, like coffee mugs, T-shirts, hats, socks. Nothing ever. I was going to say sticks, but then I second guessed it because I was like, I'm talking about a sticker business.
Surely you've said that before.
Yeah, nothing has ever
stuck.
Nothing has ever stuck. I shut my eyes. That was a real one. Nothing has ever stuck like this feels so dumb to say, like stickers.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the stickers took off. That's what the people love.
Do it.
Try other things and they might move for a minute, but then they're like, nah, we just want the stickers.
Man.
So we've resigned ourselves to be like a sticker business.
Sticker time.
And then I do some branding, event design, consulting, branding design, things like that. I got a small team of people that I work with on that stuff. And then I like podcasting. It's something I've tried to do. I love doing it. It's just making time for it.
Yeah.
And I told you earlier before we even started this, like I do have a dream of a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, doing 3 to 5 different types of shows and doing them really consistently, and that being the bulk of how I spend my time. I love doing this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just finding the time, making it a priority.
If you could do anything else and you had like an alter ego vocationally, you're like, I would love to get paid for this, and I couldn't believe that I got to do it. What is that thing?
Two things come to mind. They're both going to be silly.
Yeah,
I mean, here's the deal, dude.
People get paid for silly things.
I love golf. I love golf.
Yeah.
I would imagine
On tour?
Yeah.
You want to be?
If I
You'd
could
be on tour? Yeah.
I don't have the game. I'm never going to have the game.
That's the fun of the question.
If I could snap my fingers and have a PGA Tour level game, it would be a lot of fun to fly on private jets, take my wife with me, my wife and kids, go play the best golf courses in the world.
Yeah.
Get money thrown at you from Titleist or TaylorMade or Ping or whatever, and eat amazing meal. Travel that would be amazing.
It's a lifestyle for sure.
That would be. I would imagine it's really hard. It's a lot harder than I think it comes off as being.
Yeah.
That's got to be a difficult life.
Yeah, because what we see is, wow, they just showed up to another nice course on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then they take a couple of weeks off maybe.
And they, fitness is a big priority for a lot of those guys, and they just have the time freedom. Like,
dude,
they've got a nutritionist, they've got a chef, they've got a manager, they've got a this, they've got a that, a train.
Walking 18 holes 4 days in a row would be rough.
Yeah,
that'd be rough.
Yeah,
I'm exhausted after a round of golf.
Do you ever walk when you play?
Not in a long time. Because I'm already exhausted just swinging that many times.
Yeah,
I'm not any good, but
it is. Yeah,
great answer.
I would imagine that.
What was your second one?
I'd be a chef.
Yeah,
I'd get tattoos.
Right.
I'd get like a knife tattooed on the end, or like
different types of protein,
like a collard green, or I don't know, a chicken bone. I don't know. Yeah. I'd get tattoos, and I would be a chef.
The cow with like the different parts of the body that have different.
Yeah.
That's the flank. That's the skirt.
Culinary stuff is. I don't know why my brain works this way, but I can go sit and have a meal at a really great restaurant, really amazing chef, and I am like, I'm like a kid seeing a magic trick for the first time. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I don't understand the mind that it takes to put these things on a plate to make it taste like this. I'm wowed.
Absolutely.
That experience is just like,
it's like an artist. It's like a painting.
1,000% it's an art. 1,000% it's an art.
Yeah.
And that has always just blown me away, that I've gone like, man, if I knew how to do that.
Yeah. And they made it up.
Yeah.
They didn't Google it.
No. And I think a lot of them are inspired by different things, and they may have a dish and they're like, oh, what if we tweak? What if we did this? Then, I think they have things. Yeah. I don't know. That'd be a great question, I think, to ask some chef friends. Like, do you just sit down and just go, well, let's just come up with something?
Yeah.
Or do you take a lot of inspiration and go, hey, okay, what if we did something like this and tweaked it? But I'm constantly blown away at that if I knew how to do that, I would love to know how to do that.
Right.
I'd love to be a great
That's a great one.
Chef.
It's a great one.
So those are my two. If I could flip my switch, I'd play golf on tour, or I'd be a world-class chef.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great question.
Well, I learned a lot about you.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a 19-year-old. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a different... When they start feeding back into you, it's a different level.
Yeah. She is... I mean, all of our kids are awesome. They all have their unique strengths, weaknesses. You know, they're all flawed human beings, right? But all of our kids are awesome. She is just being the only girl, you know, and there's something about, I think... I don't know if it's scientific, but like girls just mature differently.
They get it, yeah.
Yeah, that she's an amazing human being, and it is a lot of fun to share adulthood with your kid. You know, where like she's working and she's thinking about what she wants to do for a living and asking questions and researching colleges and do I want to go to college and you know, it's a lot of fun to
Does
experience
each
her in
stage
that way.
get better, as they say? Or is it more like this?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we have them kind of all over the. They're all over.
You
the map
do. That's true.
Right now,
you have a lot of stages.
Yeah, she is
at once.
She's entering like legitimate adulthood, you know, and kind of working on blazing her own path. Oh. You have 2 teenage boys who are amazing human beings. But like you were a teenage boy, right? I was a teenage boy. I was a complete wreck when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
I was making all the bad choices. I was chasing all the girls. I was doing things I shouldn't be doing. My priorities were not in line.
Yeah.
You know, I was a professing Christian, didn't really take that seriously at all.
Yeah.
And so boys, I think, just struggle with different things that maybe aren't as typical for girls to struggle with.
Isn't that funny how that can give you an understanding, though?
Yeah.
Your 16-year-old self can be like, oh. Well,
and that's the thing. Like any struggles that our teenage boys or any of our boys are going through, it always is it wrecks mom a little bit more. I think just because she doesn't have the perspective of having been a teenage boy.
I agree. Yeah.
Whereas I do, and I go, I made all those stupid choices too.
Yeah.
And now with a little more wisdom, a little more experience, I still could be a knucklehead, but I make fewer poor choices today than I did.
Right.
And she just doesn't have that perspective of having been a teenage boy.
Yeah.
So
much like when my 7 or 9-year-old come home from school, girls, and they're talking about some type of thing that went on in the playground where there was a cheerleading group and they were not invited.
Yeah.
And I dismiss it.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But Rachel's there to kind of catch that. Oh, and she's all in. All of a sudden, she is a 7 and 9-year-old to a certain level in an understanding.
She experienced it.
Yeah. Girls can be this. Girls can be that.
Yeah.
Here's how you can work through that.
Yeah.
But that's why God gave us 2. It takes 2 and maybe a lot more sometimes.
And then our 8-year-old, he's just still in a innocent, snuggly. He's still just like life of the party. You know, it's
fun.
He just, the world has not crept in on him.
Yeah.
Like the older ones. They're older. They're more mature.
For sure.
So.
Yep. Good job.
All right. Hey, good job.
Great job.
Great job on who we are.
Unbelievable.
You know? Great job.
I feel like you did a little better.
No. I am also a 4 quarters, not 100 pennies guy. I've never heard it said that way.
I would have thought you were maybe like a at least 10 nickels. 10 dimes. I can do math.
I mean, I can count on my hand, like when I've got crisis mode.
Right.
There are
crisis mode.
There are 5 dudes I'm talking to.
That's great. That's more than a lot of guys, I think.
Then I certainly have friends that are, I would consider
lunch worthy.
Lunch worthy, or I'd go, hey, let's go out to get dinner, us and our wives, something like that.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people. Dude. And this is another reason why I want to do this. Dude, friendships.
That was a segue into why.
I'm telling you, and I know what it goes back to. And our mutual friend Jeff Helton helped me years ago really process a lot of this. But I have a non-existent / toxic / terrible relationship with my dad. And so I would say 10 years ago, 15 years ago, my guy friends were, I did that very poorly.
Because you didn't have a model for that?
I think so. First of all, my dad did not have, I can't think of a single friend he had.
Yeah. Is he still living?
I didn't see it. He is.
Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't see it modeled, but also I think just it was an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
That I think I had something against men.
I hear you.
For a while,
Yeah.
Whereas my mom, very loving, very kind. It's always been easier for me to be friends with women.
Yeah.
Than dudes.
Yep.
Dudes, it's been very.
I relate to that.
Superficial, very.
Yeah.
And I would adjust a little bit. I've never had a problem like having guy friends, but they weren't real.
Male intimacy.
Yeah.
Is hard.
They weren't. I couldn't be vulnerable, real.
It is learned
with dudes.
It's learned, and especially if you don't have a model for it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of years trying to put Rachel in that position, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't
making
work.
her your dude friend.
Making her everything. Yeah. So.
And I do think we need that as guys. Like I think that's important for us to have.
Yeah.
Guy relationships.
It's unfair to your wife.
Yeah, I agree.
She's never had a problem. She's got tons of friends, great friends. This group and that group, and text groups and group me groups.
Yeah.
Women do it well. I think we're just as emotional as women. They just emote more, so they get to it a lot faster.
Are they more emotionally intelligent, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think from birth.
Yeah.
I think that's just DNA. Yet, we have the same amount of emotions.
Yeah.
But we don't. We'll get there.
Yeah.
That's like week 4.
Today, I don't go a day without crying, though. I'm very in touch with my emotional side now.
Are you really? Are you going to cry on this episode?
I might. I've already cried today. I cried at breakfast this morning.
I think that's the healthiest
with
emotion.
With Bill Wellens. Do you know Bill?
Yeah, from Fellowship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cried at breakfast with Bill this morning.
Man, I like that.
Cried. I teared up.
No, you feel that like tightness.
Yeah.
That counts. That counts.
Bill might fact check me. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure if I actually cried.
I'm calling him right
I
after
definitely
this.
felt like crying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's who we are.
Why?
Why are we even doing this? Why even start a podcast talking about dude stuff?
I'll be the first to say,
okay.
My wife has 3 podcasts.
She does 3 podcasts
And I am the least. I'm a hermit crab by nature. So doing
you're not even on Instagram.
I'm not on social. The only reason I'm on Twitter is to look at the weather.
You're on Twitter, but you're not.
Yeah, but you'll never know. Like I'm an information gatherer.
Uh-huh.
I am not a network connect. Let's do lunch and put myself out there. Mm-hmm. I'm the last person to start a podcast.
Yeah, I thought that, which made my dream more interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So good. So you're not surprised.
Oh no, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
And so I've been asking myself, why would you do this? Number one, it's really fun. Like I wouldn't just jump in with somebody. It has to be like the right person to do this.
Oh.
But
you're gonna make me cry.
There's been twice in one day. Save some for tonight. Points.
Yeah.
there's just so much that we have lost as a culture with men, dads, husbands, that I want to reclaim. I want to reclaim it. Like, it could be something as silly as, I mentioned yard work. I grew up mowing my yard. Mm-hmm. It scares me to death that my kids aren't going to mow their yard.
Yeah.
Like, we are in this Amazon culture where we basically, the most popular text groups are recs and referrals for a tradesman so they can come fix the gutter, right? I mean, we don't do anything anymore. We really don't do any.
I'm very guilty. I'm being very convicted by this. Very convicted.
So there's two parts to my why. One is I want to be the best version of myself. That's the heart side. It's the emotional side. Mm-hmm. It's the whole person, the man with integrity, the man who is self-aware, the man who can be the king, the warrior, the sage, right?
Wow, you're going deep,
I mean,
bro.
I want that side of me to be the healthiest person that I can. I also want to be able to do some stuff. I want to know if the grid goes down that I can get back home.
Yeah.
Right? I want to know how long water lasts in a plastic bottle. I mean, not really, but I want to know where power is going to come from. Is gas more important than solar panels? I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to clean a bird. I want to learn how to change a tire on the side of the road so I can walk my daughter through it if we need to.
Yeah.
Or you can just get AAA and just have it fixed.
Yeah.
And so the why is deeply rooted in the soul for me, as just the soul of a man, and deeply rooted in the physical man. Listen,
bro.
Rachel wants to be married to a person that knows how to fix it, how to do it,
Yeah.
I mean, I check the mail every day. Do you check the mail every day?
I don't personally. I do often.
Who checks the mail in your house?
Well, it depends on who's coming home.
This is a big question.
It depends. Listen, we got all kind. We got two kids driving. Kimberly and I drive, so it depends on. We've gotten in this habit of, like, when we drive home, you pull in the driveway
because it's a long driveway.
We have a long driveway.
Okay, so you're not.
So you just can't walk. I mean, it's
so whoever's pulling in
0.6 of a mile from my house to the mailbox. So it's like. It's whoever's pulling in, so I might check it, but there's nothing there. Oh, McKinley, our daughter, she got it earlier, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's usually me or McKinley, who's our daughter.
Yeah. A little bit more. There is a lot of baggage around certain words, certain topics for me. Mm-hmm. Masculinity has a ton of cultural baggage.
Yeah, I agree.
Leadership has baggage. Mm-hmm. Like, what does that even mean? Mm-hmm. And I want to reclaim, uncloud those things, really define it for myself.
Yeah.
And if anybody's listening, then they get to come along with us and learn through it together. But Renaissance is dead, and I want to bring it back for the American male today.
Yeah. And I think you made a good point, which I think is good for us to keep in mind. You and I are not experts, and like I hear you say, I want to reclaim this. That's a lofty thing. Winston and Chris are going to reclaim masculinity for America, or whatever. But we want to do it for ourselves. We want to get better. I think that's something you and I have in common. We want to be better men, better fathers, better husbands, more resourceful, more wisdom. That's just a personal thing that we want to do. And so I think we're looking at this not as, we're going to go do something and we'll have 1 billion subscribers and we'll make a crap ton of money, whatever. But, like, we want to learn. I think this will be an interesting way to learn and evolve, get better. Bringing in some people. Golly, I just bumped that.
That's I can hear all this.
I know. And if someone out there is like, I'm interested in that kind of stuff too, they will hopefully benefit from the things we're benefiting from doing this together.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll say I've spent a lot of money on counseling through a lot of issues in life.
It's our number one budget item every month.
That's awesome.
We have 5 of us currently are in counseling. 5 out of 6.
That's great. You know who hates that? The ego.
Oh.
The ego hates it. Like, you're either going to go to counseling out of desperation or because you don't want to go through the pain someday.
Yeah.
It's going to happen one way or the other. You got to choose your hard.
Yeah.
But I would like to say that we are not the heroes. The listener is the hero.
Yeah.
That I want them to be empowered.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the topics that we're going to do. It's on us to create and to pass on what we've experienced and learned in all these topics.
Yeah.
And my dream would be that hopefully in one of those things, that guy doesn't have to go through that.
Oh, yeah.
He can take a left instead. Yeah. And be like, wow, that right there, I wrote it down and I kind of started working with it. And that saved him from $150 hour.
Yeah. It might be fun.
What about you? What about your why?
I don't know that I could. I don't want to just completely rip you off, but I don't know that I could have said it better. I really don't. Like,
That means we share the same vision. That's good. That's good.
It's true though.
Yeah.
I do believe. And when you were talking, I was so convicted because, dude, if I could curse on, I don't do squat around our house.
Yeah.
And we have gotten, my wife has become way more resourceful than I am. Which, on one hand, like she'll say, hey, we had a leaky toilet. I YouTubed it. I Googled it. I bought the part. I figured it out. It ain't leaky no more. And we'll give each other a high five.
She kind of seems to enjoy it.
I think she does.
Yeah,
I really do.
That's
I think
big.
she does. She'll be like, I boss babe this or some hashtag, whatever. She'll come up with some hashtag. I mom bossed this today, and it's a high five. Awesome. And we love it. We didn't have to call the plumber for
it's
$180 billion an hour or whatever.
Feeling. Yeah. I don't care who does it.
Yeah. But I'm a little bit like, dude, I don't know how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to. I want to know how to do that stuff. And I know that's very kind of one-dimensional, like fixing stuff around the house. But I want to know how to do that stuff. You're talking about the power grid. Like, I don't want to be some, end of the world. But I do. The more you read about it,
yeah,
it ain't hard to take down.
No.
I think at some point we're going to experience that. How am I going to take care of my family, provide for my family if and when that happens? How do I develop really good, deep, meaningful relationships with other men where I'm not just taking, but I can also give? It's a mutually beneficial thing. How can I be invested in but also invest in others? How can I lead my kids well? Like, these are things I want to be better at. Yeah. And this is a little bit of a like dude, it's we wrote down here mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
I was convicted by the body part. Because I like drinking my alcohol. I love my glasses of wine at night. I love my cocktail. Mm-hmm. I love food. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to be better at what I take in. But, like, candidly, man, I need to drop 25 pounds. Well, I started working out this week, 3 days in a row.
Congratulations,
3 days in a row.
Man. This is already...
Now, today's day 4. I had a really early breakfast meeting. I haven't done my workout yet today, but I'm going to do it tonight.
You could just check the mail tonight from your house.
No. Well, I've been doing this thing. It's a whole other thing. I started an app called Better Me. Have you seen this?
I don't think so.
I really like it.
Okay.
It's calisthenics. It's all body weight stuff. You don't have to have any machinery or equipment, anything like that.
Love it.
I do it in our bedroom, and I put it on the TV. It's 15, 20 minutes a day. I think they work you up as you build, But it's all push-ups, squats, stretching, things like that. And I've done it. When I do it today, it'll be my 4th day. But it was really challenging. Like, to read some of this stuff, I was like, part of it is, I think when you put yourself out there and you start talking about things like this, I think God kind of gives you opportunities to work on it yourself. Does that make sense? I think going, okay, I'm going to talk about this. Well, you really kind of need to be.
You got to back that up.
You got to back that up. Like, you got to really be doing some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's I want to make sure that my next. Here's what I did. A couple months ago, I realized I probably have 27 years left. The average American male lives to be, I think it's 74.
That sounds right.
I think it's 74.
Women, 78.
Yeah. And so if I'm 47, I got 27 years left. Which is like...
Sounds short.
It is short. It's not long. That's not a long time, Winston. 27 years, it'll be gone in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And
You've known your wife for 30.
Oh, yeah.
You've known your wife longer than what you have left to live.
Yes. And I hope that I'd go that 27, or hopefully I go more, and we will have been married for 50 years, and we'll have, grandkids, hopefully. God, give me grandkids. But, like, I want to be the best version of myself for these next 27 years.
Yeah.
Whether that, and most of the time I think about wisdom. Like, I want wisdom.
Yeah.
I want to be wise about friendships, about how I treat my wife, about how I lead my kids, about business, about what I put in my mind, what's good and healthy for, what I put in my body, how I'm treating it. I want to gain wisdom. So that to me is the big thing for me. And I just thought, well, with that dream, and I like you, and I'm like, okay, it'd be fun to do this together,
Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
If you were wearing like, like Viore sweats or something.
Joggers?
Joggers. Then it wouldn't make a lot of sense that you would be the prototype.
No offense to people who wear joggers.
Are we talking about men specifically?
You have a problem with that?
No, I don't even know what you're about to say.
Well,
but
no offense to men who wear joggers.
Okay.
Are you a joggers guy?
Have you ever put on a pair of Viore joggers?
Never. Are they amazing?
I'm going to buy you a pair of Viore joggers.
Are they amazing?
They're amazing. And they're socially acceptable. Now, I don't wear them out.
Where do you wear them? Just around the house?
If I'm meeting somebody for Chick-fil-A like 6:30 in the morning for breakfast, I'll just throw those on if I'm going back home.
Okay.
That's what you wear to Chick-fil-A at 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Not for like the day.
Dude, I just
around the house.
I don't know if I can do it.
What do you wear around the house in the winter?
In the winter, that's a really good question. That's a really good question. Around the house in the winter.
You're thinking about it so much.
I would be wearing these jeans.
So you wear jeans at home?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. See,
yeah.
You're the guy.
Yeah.
You're the Southern gentleman.
They
don't come off.
These are comfortable jeans.
I got to get that belt off right when I get home. Man.
Well, you're wearing the wrong belt, bro.
I need a new one. I haven't bought a belt in 12 years.
Mine's a stretchy belt.
That's not.
It's a stretchy belt.
Okay, link it. He's gonna put the link up for the stretchy belt because I need one.
I've got.
I didn't know that's a thing.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
what happened to leather?
I would take my belt off. And I own a leather belt, but I just don't wear it anymore.
Why would you if you have a stretchy belt?
Yeah, this is a stretchy belt, bro.
Okay, so let's swap the Viore joggers for a stretchy belt. Problem solved.
Yeah.
Okay. Unbelievable.
I just don't know that I can go full on joggers.
We did have style in here.
Yeah, I did put that in there.
So if y'all want to know style, we probably aren't like excelling in that. But
so let's talk about this a little bit because the last one is like what we want this to be.
I think we've covered a lot of that.
Yeah, a lot of it. But I thought it would be, we just kind of did a brain dump and threw a bunch of things in here like, oh, this could be something. I'll tell you a couple that kind of stuck out to me. I think the big ones for me are marriage, fatherhood. Those are really big.
Definitely.
I think sex is going to be interesting.
Definitely.
Because I just think it's going to be interesting, and it will.
I would have loved to talk to my 23-year-old self.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
About that.
Mm-hmm. And I think that could go. Like we wrote down here, dealing with porn, sexual sin, lust. But I don't know. It's how candid. Now, obviously, we don't want to be graphic. We don't want to be, but like, I think there's a lot of value in a good, healthy sex life with your wife.
100%.
And how. But I don't hear a lot of people talking about it, and maybe there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because I do think it can be uncomfortable, but I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah. How do you talk to your kids about it?
Yeah. Because I'm about to. I mean, we try to talk to our kids a lot about it when age appropriate. So our 8-year-old has not really had a lot of those conversations. Our other kids have.
Right. I think the sex one is super important. Man, it's really super important. And it has a negative. It already, it doesn't have to be all negative.
Yeah, I agree.
It's both beauty and danger, right? So that's a good one.
I think health and fitness. I think I love. You wrote this down. Dealing with control versus fully alive. I don't know that I fully understand it, but I'm really intrigued by it.
Man, I'm telling you what. I think, for me personally, I have deep. Mostly subconscious, like I'm not even conscious to it, controlling people, controlling situations, controlling my environment, controlling my body, controlling food. I'm hardwired to control.
Yeah. And
the control is a response to something.
Don't bump the mic.
It's a method to soothe something that feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And fully alive would be that I actually get behind that control and say, golly, what are you scared of? What are you scared of? Oh, there's life right there. Let's deal with that emotion. How do you want to tend to that fear? Because that's what's going on. You're trying to get away from it. Don't get away from it.
Yeah.
You can't control that anyway.
Give me like a real quick real world example of how you've experienced that.
Most of my examples are going to be with my kids. That's where most of my control issues are. It's a lot easier to command and control parent than it is to embrace and walk with it. And so if I've got chaos going on in the house, noise, loudness, which is kind of my nemesis, then I get big. I turn into general dad.
Shut it down.
And shut it down.
Yeah.
It's what I've started to realize, they're not even really being mischievous.
No.
They're being kids.
Yeah.
And to be fully alive would be to turn to that, embrace the chaos, and join in with them.
Yeah.
And you know what the last thing I want to do at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Is to join in the noise and the chaos.
What do you think? What's the fear behind that when you go into general dad?
That I will lose control of them, that they will turn into somebody that I don't want them to turn into, and that it's up to me, completely up to me,
Dude,
to make them who I want them to be.
Yeah.
And if I let loose and join into the craziness, they're going to think that's okay. I mean, it's all fear.
Yeah.
It's all fear.
Yeah.
So that would be a good one for me.
That's a really good one. I think men friendships speaks to me. I'll tell you another one, dude. The cooking, barbecue, grilling, it speaks to me.
I love cooking.
And I want to be better at it.
Yeah.
I do. I want to be better at it. I have some beautiful grills, smokers at our house, and I have no freaking idea what to do with them. I could do very, very basic stuff.
Yeah.
I want to, but I dream of a day because, and this is a whole other thing, because I jokingly wrote down college football, because I am a new SEC convert. And I know that sounds weird because I have grown up. I'm a native Tennessean. I've been in Nashville my whole life.
Unreal.
I was anti-SEC football until about I was vehemently against it.
Wow, what happened?
Well,
other than the whole, like, half the country becoming the SEC.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're running out of real estate.
And I didn't realize, like, the Big Ten, Oregon's in the Big Ten now.
Yeah, why
That's
not?
wild to me. And the Big Ten has like 28 different schools or something. The Big Ten is the Big 28 or something.
Yeah.
But my dad was not a sports guy, and never paid attention to sports. And when I was 5-ish, when I started to learn how to read, there was a thing that was hanging on the wall in my bedroom that my mom had put up that was like, which the year I was born was 1977. And so it was like 1977. Here's what happened the year you were born.
Yeah.
And one of the things was the Yankees won the World Series that year. Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in game, I can't remember what game number it was in the World Series that year. But when I could read, like, I did like sports. I liked baseball. So I instantly became a Yankees fan. I didn't know the Braves existed. I didn't know the Reds existed. I didn't know any teams other than like what I was reading on that wall. And then as I became a young man, I had family that we were really close to. I had an aunt, uncle, and cousins that lived in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I would go visit them a lot. And they would always kind of like, oh, for your birthday, they'd send me a University of Michigan sweatshirt or a hat or something like that. So I fell in love early, 10, 12 years old, with the University of Michigan. And I followed the Wolverines, Charles Woodson and Desmond Howard. And I was watching the game, the championship game in 97.
Yeah.
And I was so like, oh, Charles Woodson deserved that award, and Peyton Manning, he wasn't anywhere close to. I was anti-SEC. All my buddies were SEC people, and we would just bicker and argue and fight, and I was just so. I knew in my heart the Big Ten is better than the SEC, and we would argue about it all the time.
100%.
And then I turned 30, and Jack was born. He's our oldest son, and I was like, man, I wish I had a team that I could like root for with my son. So I tried Vandy.
Oh.
I bought season tickets that year.
Oh.
Not that year. Like when he was 5 or 6.
Oh, yeah.
We went to a couple games. It's just so hard. It's so hard, dude. When they're terrible.
Being a Vandy fan?
When they're terrible and there are 800 people in that stadium and it's empty, it's so hard to get excited about that.
Yeah.
So I tried it.
You
for
made
one
a local
season.
play, though.
I know.
I mean, it made sense. They're local.
But
What
also,
options did you have?
Every other Tennessee fan that I knew, Tennessee Vol fan that I knew, was just obnoxious about it. The orange and the go Vols, and
it's rough.
It drove me crazy. I was like, I can't be a Vols fan.
Oh, Vol.
I can't be a Vols fan,
It's so obnoxious.
and I also can't be a Vanderbilt fan because nobody wants to be that. I mean, it's
No.
dramatically changed.
800
today.
people.
But like, so I've just kind of drifted along for 15, 17 years.
Okay.
I'd watch occasionally, a big game or something, Alabama, Tennessee. I'd watch, but didn't really have a dog in the fight. But dude, 2 weeks ago, the Texas Alabama game. Was it Texas? Alabama?
Georgia.
Well, no, that was last week.
Oh, okay.
The weekend before that though was, I think, Texas Alabama.
Okay.
And it was just like, the wool had been lifted from my eyes. And then last week it was Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee, Alabama. And I was just like, and I'm just feeling all these things like the SEC is the greatest thing ever.
It finally got to your bloodstream.
Yeah. And like my wife likes watching. She's like, what games are coming on? And we're
The
sitting
best
there.
ones in the SEC.
Yeah. And so all that to say, I dream of a day, a Saturday, where I can get up in the morning, do a couple chores, and I know, hey, I'm going to go put this thing on the smoker. I'm going to go put this thing on the grill.
Oh, man.
And we're going to turn some games on, and we're going to eat some fantastic stuff and drink some wine or have a cocktail, and we're going to watch these games. But I dream of working the grill and the smokers and that, and I just don't have any knowledge or confidence about that stuff.
Is there some type of meat that you can do without Googling it just right off the cuff?
Not a single one.
Okay.
I'm the most confident with like
Pork
a steak. No, have no clue.
Okay.
No clue whatsoever.
Okay. You're at a burgers and hot dog tier.
I'm a burgers, hot dog. I've done steaks.
Yeah.
But I have to like go research. I always call our friend Joe. I always call him.
Yeah.
And go, hey Joe.
What a great friend.
I'm going to be cooking these steaks. Tell me exactly what to do.
Yeah.
What temperature, how long. I always involve him. I don't know what to do with that stuff.
I can't wait for that episode.
I want to do more with that.
Right.
So that was, I don't know, that one excites me. Let me ask you this. How do you feel about politics and current events?
Man, because we live on this earth, you're either going to be in denial about the roles that you play, or you're going to engage it at some level.
Yeah.
I feel that way about politics. I voted the other day, early voter.
Yeah, me too.
And but in my heart, I'm just like kind of passive with it. But it doesn't matter because I'm a citizen of the United States, so it's upon us.
Yeah.
I heard the other day that if you write one letter to Congress or to your senator for your state, then you represent like 30,000 people.
Because so few people do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking the other day when I was voting, I was like, I wonder how many people I'm voting for right now. You know, how many people am I representing?
Yeah, because a lot of
us
don't vote. So
it's kind of like, you know, you're a dad and part of the family.
Yeah.
You can't escape that. You're a citizen of the United States. Yeah. And so I think we should. I think we should.
There is I'm going to stretch
Talk
my
about
leg
toxic.
out. Yeah, there's a fear inside me about that stuff. Because, well, I just think we're seeing it. Everybody's demonized. Everybody. And it doesn't matter if you're going to vote for him. It doesn't matter if you're going to vote for her. If you're not vote, I'm guilty of it. If I know that you're voting a different way than me, I look at you differently.
Yeah.
And I know that person looks at me differently, and it's
like political discrimination.
Yeah, and I don't like that about me. I don't want it to be, and I will say I don't treat people differently. I think about them differently. I look at them differently.
Right. Right. Like, you probably won't be one of my 4 quarters.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's all brainwashing,
and just how toxic it's become, and how
we've lost the ability to have an open heart.
Oh man. Oh.
We can have a difference in our opinions.
Yeah.
But we can't keep our heart open. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. That's a really good way of putting it. And so I am fearful about that part of it, just because we just live in a culture that I could see one of us expressing an opinion and just being blasted on the internet for it.
100%.
And there's that fear, because nobody likes that.
Right.
Now,
but we could do one on sex, and it's like, okay, we're a little more,
Yeah.
That's yours, that's mine.
But
politics is so inflammatory.
Oh, it's a daggum.
It's inflammatory,
yeah,
and you only vote once every 4 years for the president. I mean, it's bonkers.
Yeah.
And we're probably at a boiling point in these 4 years. We're like a few days from election, so it's a very hot topic right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that it will. I don't know that it'll feel that way once we get past this.
It'll cool off.
But I also do think, like, I have been just searching for. I think it's so hard to know what is true these days, because everybody says something different, and they can't all be telling the truth.
Not at all.
And I'm like, I am hungry for, where is the actual truth here?
I saw a bumper sticker yesterday that said, "Make facts great again."
Yeah.
But I would say, make truth great again.
Make truth great again. I love that.
Make truth.
I just want to know the truth about things.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to find that today.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't know. That could be interesting. Anything else on here strike your fancy?
Gosh, we have a lot of good ones.
Travel? Should we do a travel episode? Our favorite places to take our wives?
I think they should join us for that.
That'd
My
be great.
wife is the traveler of the world.
She likes to travel?
Her most exciting thing in the world to do ever is to plan a trip.
Yeah, mine too.
If she doesn't have a trip,
Mine too.
How about this? I could book a trip for 2026. And she'll have a great 2 years.
Dude.
She'll have a great 2 years. Because she'll be looking forward to it the
This
whole
is
time.
so
and the day
funny
she
to
gets
me.
home, our bags will still be packed. And she'll
Yeah.
say,
Where are we going next?
what's next? So absolutely travel.
Yeah, I did not realize that about her. It is, going back to your question, what would you do if you could snap your fingers?
Travel agent.
I'd be a travel agent.
Oh my goodness, really?
I would.
I'd be the guy that is the travel guy who is the reviewing all the places. That would be cool.
Well, no, I
But
would
you want
be-
to actually plan the travel for some family you don't know?
I do dream about somebody coming to me and saying, hey, I'm taking my wife to Charleston for 3 nights. Go plan everything.
Do it.
Go make it happen.
Wow, you like that.
Book where we're going to stay. Tell me where we're going to go have breakfast.
And it's
Tell
because
me what we're going to do.
you get to curate the experience for them.
Yes, I love
Do you
that.
live through them, or do you just love them saying that you did a great job? Do you live through that experience with them?
Neither. Neither one of those reasons is why I would want to do it.
You're going to have to tell me the reason.
I think maybe I honed in on the specific words of them telling me that I did a good job. I don't need them to tell me.
Okay.
I know it's going to be a good job. I love that they're going to go experience all these things that I know are awesome. And now I get to convince them that they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're going to leave going, that place was awesome.
He nailed it.
That place was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, this place, where we stayed, unbelievable. Like
Right.
Because
you knew it would be, and you shared it, and
yeah.
you shared it with them.
I love.
Rachel's a lot like that.
Oh man.
If you texted her today and was like, "Hey, do you have any good places in Manhattan?"
Oh yes.
She would go bonkers.
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way.
And she'd be your hype girl for Manhattan eateries.
And I'm planning our 25th anniversary is 2026.
Okay.
I'm planning it right now.
Dude, you're golden.
And I'm always like looking for some adventure
You're upping it to.
that she and I can go on.
Yeah.
And it's mostly she and I.
I hope so.
Yeah. I don't necessarily get crazy excited about like planning a Dollywood trip with the kids or
Right.
but I'm saying I love planning getaways.
Favorite person, favorite
she and I.
experience.
Yeah. Where are we gonna go?
Wow.
Where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do?
Incredible.
Like, I love that. Yeah.
Wow. This is incredible.
All right, I think we did a pretty good job.
I do too.
Anything else on there speak to you?
I mean, at some level, they all do. But those are some really good ones. I'll say, I do have a passion for emotional intelligence,
Yeah.
self-awareness, and growing as a person, learning yourself, becoming a student of. Jeez.
We're gonna put all this in, by the way.
Oh my goodness!
It's getting like when I talk a lot,
getting late.
I need water. I should have been prepared with a
Are you
water.
allowed to drink water on a podcast?
Yeah, of course you are. Or a cocktail.
That'd be a good episode.
How do you feel about cocktails during a podcast?
I think they slap. I've always wanted to say that. I think they slap. Especially during a podcast.
Dude, I don't know why that hit me the right way. I think they slap.
That's because that word is so ridiculous, but people use it, like young kids use it.
My teenagers.
That slaps.
Dude, I know all the lingo. I'm him. I'm him. That slaps, bruh. Sigma. Like I'm
Slay.
hearing Slay.
Slay
I'm
Queen.
hearing. Well, I don't hear that because I've got
girls.
I got mostly boys.
Slay.
So I hear Sigma a lot. I hear. Oh gosh.
Beige flag.
I don't know that one.
Yeah.
Beige flag? What's that mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a questionable person or questionable thing instead of like instead of a red flag, it's kind of like a beige, kind of like proceed with caution, like a yellow light.
Oh, okay. I learned something new today.
Slaps, man.
Okay, this was pretty good. I think
This is real good. I like this.
Was it pretty good? Can you hear that?
Yeah. I also see you touching it that way.
Okay.
I can hear that.
This has devolved a little bit.
All right. I liked it. Great job.
I feel
Let's see
like-
what our time is.
I feel like we've got a good framework. This is an hour and 15 minutes.
That's what we needed to pare it down to an hour. Perfect.
Yeah. And, okay, so as we're leaving people
Yeah.
with episode 0, anything we want to leave them with?
Just our outro that we've come up with, but no, I think we covered it. This is why we're here. And
Okay.
we've got some great stuff to share.
Yeah.
And some great people to help us with it.
Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, the
I can't wait
people
about
that we want is going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the
If
guests.
you could pick one person
Yeah.
right now who could be in this room talking about something with you and I, who would it be?
I don't know. I watched Am I Racist with Matt Walsh. He came to my head.
Is that good?
It was okay. Yeah, it was all right.
Okay.
I was waiting on him to be serious like one time, but he wasn't ever serious.
Not a rousing endorsement.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm kind of in the emotional intelligence realm. So like some type of like Dan Allender.
Okay.
Like a good therapist that's just like
Mm-hmm.
says things that kind of blow your mind.
Yeah.
Dan Allender would be mine.
All right. That's good. That's good.
Maybe an author.
Yeah. Oh, I got some good. Yeah, I got some good ones.
Yeah. Some authors of some books, and just man, that stuff gets me going.
Yeah. All right. This has been good. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. Love it. It's been great.
I can never tell if you're excited.
That's because I am that guy that I mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I'm like a accountant, but with like a personality.
You have a personality?
Jeez, I made you laugh like 5 times. You would not start a podcast with a dud.
That's true. But it took today to kind of figure it out. I think I had in the back of my mind, like, if this is a dud,
We're selling
what can I
those.
figure
We're
out?
selling that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I had something come up, Winston. I was going to make up a bad, like, disease joke, but I'm not going to do that.
Okay, that's good. We can edit this.
This has been good.
All right, let's wrap.
And we'll wrap it up.
Let's see what it does.
Real quick, I'm a big fan of no editing. How do you feel about that?
Whenever I hear something back, I'm like, the only other podcast I did was Kent Lapp. Remember Kent Lapp?
Yeah, I did Kent's podcast. What
You
are you
did?
pointing over there for?
Because Bill used to work for him.
Yeah.
But, dude, when he sent it back over, I was like, you recorded you just sent it just as it was, and it was forever long. So I'm okay for non-editing, but I'm not that good.
Yeah.
It takes me a while to get to that good juice.
Yeah.
And then you're like, there's the juice. You can edit to the juice. So why would?
Yeah.
I'm just not that good. If everything I said was juice.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it is just conversational.
Okay.
It's like I point to Rogan's podcast as like they don't edit. They turn the mics on. They can talk about whatever they want. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're not gonna have 3 hours worth of stuff.
No.
We're gonna talk about an hour,
Okay.
55 minutes, whatever.
All right. Okay, but like when you say no edit, we'll edit like the breaks and stuff. Checking the camera, your phone ringing.
I don't know. Maybe we won't.
That
was a fake laugh.
I'm so open minded. So let's do it. Let's send it.
All right. This is episode 0. And golly.
We got to cut it off, dude. You're going to get this thing all.
Okay. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
How do we end it?
Keep coming back, y'all.
I like it. All right. Keep
coming back, y'all.